Ayo, Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Bashem, Yahshua, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double to the apostles, elders of GreatMillStone, man. And Shalom to all the brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth. The brother Amon from the GMS London camp. Got an article here on the Sun. It says social score. Facebook has trust rating for users, but it won't tell you your score. And you know, this is evident just a lead up to the same kind of system they got in China, where they got that Sesame credit system, man. And I did a video on that before. And they got an episode of Black Mirror as well, where it's basically based on your social score that will dictate like your place in society, pretty much. Once you get below a certain score, then it's like all kinds of, you know, basically it's going to imply, you know, you have to be what's the word? An obedient member of society, man. You got to bow to the will of the elites, man. You got to be a good slave, man. That's pretty much what you know, what this is all about. And you can see the lead up, because China is always, they push out a lot of things in China, like the chips getting pushed a lot harder. They've got them shops in China, the ones where it's like you basically don't even need to have a server. Everything's got an RFID tag, and then you just, you know, you tag your shit, you scan it, blah blah blah, goes through chip systems everywhere. And that's even a surveillance. It's like London's got a proper surveillance state, but I think like China's even getting like more rigorous than that, like in the built-up areas where they're just you know, people's faces are getting tracked. What was it? It's like I think they did like there was a guy that went over there. He did like one of the did an experiment basically where his face was put up, like facial recognition, their facial recognition system, as like they put a warrant out for his arrest. And he walked around, I think he got grabbed up in like 15-20 minutes. Got grabbed up quick. So, you know, it's like China's like a test bed, then they bring it out to the West, man. And it's like, you know, it's evident Facebook they've been bringing, because it's like Facebook's like, oh, we're fighting against fake news, blah, blah, blah. But really, that's just something they're going to spread, because it's like they nuked Alex Jones off of Facebook and YouTube and something, I can't remember. I think Twitter, they just gave him a timeout. But Twitter's looking to come on board as well. So it's going to be a thing where it's regulated, like that's what they're really trying to do. But really, ultimately, all it is going to be aimed at is the men of the Lord, man. It's going to be aimed at the men of the Lord. Basically, just, you know, for bringing the truth out. Because the thing is if, you know, if, for example, well, the videos was going on Facebook, then, you know, Facebook would have nuked us like time ago anyway, if you just, you know, sticking the vids on there. So, hey, that's showing you that famine of the word coming soon, man. And Esau trying to lock down the net. This is why, you know, these elites were upset that the internet was even made, because it's basically been used, that unicorn, man, used for the propagation of the word, which, hey, that's a beautiful thing. That shows the Spirit of the Lord's working, pushing the truth out there hard. People can't really complain, but it's, you know, now it's come to the West, they use the old, you know, Trump, the election, blah, 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 Russian bots, all that shit. That just seemed like a fucking hoorah, hoopla. But now they're bringing, you know, they're actually bringing meaningful consequence based off that. And it's the same thing, it always happens that way, man. Just like 9/11, man. 9/11, they got the Patriot Act. When they do these false flags, they get certain things they want, man. Like the Brexit vote. That's bringing that chaos over here. People they don't really know. It can basically become a real hot mess over here. Because what do you call it? People ain't really gonna know what the fuck is going on, man. If it gets that no deal, it's gonna get real greasy over here real quick. But anyway, let me read this on the Sun. It says Facebook is rating users based on how trustworthy it thinks they are, and that's some fucking some 1984 shit right there, man. You got your level of trustworthiness. And it says what the rating system was revealed in a report by the Washington Post and later confirmed by Facebook to the Sun, which says it's in place to help identify malicious actors. It says Facebook tracks your behavior across its site and uses that info to assign you a rating. Tessa Leons, who heads up Facebook's fight against fake news, said one of the signals we use is how people interact with articles. For example, if someone previously gave us feedback that an article was false and the article was confirmed false by a fact checker, And the thing is first of all, who the fuck are these fact checkers, and who's discerning if it's false? That should remind you of the Ministry of Truth in 1984, man, in ESOC. That Ministry of Truth, because that's pretty much the same thing. So it shows you that Sesame credits our system, because in China it's the same thing. It's like, okay, if you're not doing, if you're behaving in certain ways against the state, then they'll basically assign you as like, you're gonna be looked at as like a dodgy character, man. And it says what? The article was confirmed false by a fact checker, and we might weigh that person's future false news information feedback more than someone who indiscriminately provides false news feedback on lots of articles, including ones that end up being rated as true. And the thing is rated true by who? This is basically just some demonic Edomites, because they'll report true some shit about some absolute BS, man. Because what if you're bringing out about if you're bringing out certain information about the so-called Jew, that is not, they ain't gonna run. If you're bringing out about Hitler and and the fact that he was a so-called Jew, and basically that he was down, he wasn't, these so-called Jews weren't getting messed up, then that shit, you're gonna get what? It's gonna be flagged false and nuked, man. So basically, it's about what the so-called Jews decide. Those banking elites, there's elite banking families of the so-called Jew decide it's true. That's really what it is, and that's what Esau's wet dream. Earlier this year, Facebook admitted it was rolling out trust ratings for media outlets. This involved ranking news websites based on the quality of the news they were reporting. This rating will be used to decide which posts should be promoted higher in users' newsfeed. User ratings are employed in a similar way, helping Facebook make judgments about the quality of their post reports. Basically, it's just deciding who's talking shit and who's talking truth, according to the so-called Jew, man. Says, according to Leon's, a user rating isn't meant to be an absolute indicator of a person's credibility. Instead, it's intended as a measure of working out how risky a user's actions may be. That's basically, it's a thing. It's just a matter of control and regulating, and only getting put out what they want to put out. Because just like with brothers' videos on YouTube, you can get fucking hundreds of thousands of views, but your video's still gonna be put, like, they ain't really gonna be having the truth be out there getting promoted on like the level of you're gonna see a Breakfast Club interview with with 10,000 views. That's gonna be getting promoted harder than than the truth coming out. So this is how the so-called Jew runs their shit, man. And this is how they like to have it. So. But this whole regulation coming in, basically leading into the thing is the famine of the word as well. It's like when the famine of the word comes in, that means like really we're done. Like it's more or less, it's a done deal, man. Because once famine of the word kicks in, really it's what more we can't even be out here anymore. We If you can't be doing the work, you just got to be out there. So that shows we're in that time where it's coming real swiftly. It's coming swiftly as well, man. Where it's just is what it is, man. You're gonna have to be out there in the elements. Let me read this. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that ye have but a short time. And that's how these elites are moving, man. These elites basically know there's a real short amount of time, and they're looking to get their shit set. These guys are basically, they put Trump, they got Trump in, they got the trade wars popping off, they got the shit with Russia, sending for Russia. Even the Brexit over here is, putting the EU in a certain position, Britain in a certain position. All these different kinds of things. There's excellent reasons out there why the Third World War is ready to pop off. So it's it's gonna get real messy real quick, man, because it's going to come to the point where, you know, the Lord's basically going to give that green light, and then you're going to see it start to escalate, man. You're going to have more of these attacks popping off, certain justifications, you know, airstrikes, all these different kinds of things. It's going to lead up and culminate in that Third World War, man. You know, famine of words part of that, martial law's part of that, you know, the RFID chip, man. Like I mentioned, like the Sesame credit, that thing's going to be linked, that kind of system's just going to be like 1984, linked in with a chip. Everyone measured, like Handmaid's Tale, man. Where everyone, they keep track of everyone, they know what everyone's doing. So, you know, shows we're in that time, man. Shows what's getting ready to pop off. So, you know, fast and pray, man. Shalom.